Check, check. Hello, everybody. Here we are at Toledo, where Detroit City just got a massive W. What?
Monday with the right foot. It's in the back of the net.
We did what we needed to do,
Yes.
as predicted
Yes.
by us, as predicted by him.
Yeah.
He predicted 1-1.
And
Spoiler alert.
Okay.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry.
All right.
All
Not going to show you too many highlights of this thing, but we're going to describe. We're going to describe a little bit of what went on. I mean, the first half of play for Detroit City, for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
We'll look at the stats here from the first half of play. Charleston pretty much controlled most of the game.
Yeah.
In the first half, as far as that, 72% possession, six shots, two on target, one on target for Detroit City, and it was pretty much for the most part tonight. Detroit City held the held to form. Let's just say that.
Held the form. They contained the big guns at MD Meyer that Cal Jennings and Torres really well in that first period.
Oh, and definitely there. And, there was a couple chances there where Detroit City won, though. I think it was a lawn. I'm going back to it here. But it was, who was it that wasn't, I'm just trying to think who it was that blasted it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a long ball. I know that.
I know.
Attempt miss. Let's see. Right foot. Okay.
Yeah, great call.
Yeah, trying to do that without. We only got a couple highlights here because they're going to put us out here. Let's just put it that way. But needless to say. But like I said, Detroit City had all kinds of chances that they could get here. Gonzatti had a right-footed shot from the center of the box in the 36th minute. Let's see here. Another attempt missed. A right-footed shot by Atis Juf. Misses to the left of the box. There was a mistake, though. I'm just trying to think where that mistake was. It was early on, though. Or was it? No, it was in the second half, though, where it was Jordan Adebayo-Smith who came into the game, blasted one on a mistake, and didn't, and it sailed over the bar. Haruki Yamazaki, earlier than that, had another mistake by the goalkeeper. That was a miss. So I would say he got tripped up there. But, it wasn't for Detroit. Detroit City had quite a few chances in this game.
Yeah, a bunch of great chances during the game. There was even one around the goal bow, and there was no white stock to be near the 7-foot area.
Right, exactly. And it wasn't to say that Charleston had their chances too. Carlos Herrera was busy all night as well. But go to the 65th minute of play here. Corner kick for Charleston Battery. And this was their second consecutive corner kick. And MD Myers puts it in to put Charleston Battery up by a score of 1-0, and we were thinking, brother, here we go.
And it only went off the foot of Michael Bryant into the lovely foot of MD Meyer, who had scored his one behind his teammate Cal Jennings for the Golden Boot.
However,
a
minute later, literally a minute later,
the giveaway. Cedeno into space.
Cedeno.
Chapman.
Over to Juve. Boom.
6th goal of the year.
Tied things up at one apiece.
Service by Jay Chapman.
Jay Chapman had the service.
Like
that was a good whip-back goal, but must I say.
Juve had been chomping at the bit. That one started with Ryan
Charleston
Williams being in the right position.
Ends up dropping points there. Something you cannot say
I know.
about the Charleston Battery.
This is the second time, actually the last 3 years, they have gotten a draw. 0-0 back in 23, 1-2 back in 24, now 1-1 in 25.
Yeah, Charleston just does not drop points at Patriots Point. They don't drop points. The only loss that they had this year was against Lou City. That was early on during the year. And needless to say, Detroit City comes away with a very much needed point.
Very much needed point. They have 36 points now.
And all but assures them of clinching the playoffs, barring what's going on or depending on what happens with the other games. A lot of those games started later tonight because of, one's started at 9:00 due to weather conditions down in Indy.
Yeah.
That game between them and Loudoun United. Another game that's going on in progress as we're talking. We're not going to give you the result until after the C, and then I'm going to go. I'll be back at the Hacienda or whatever it is, and then we'll hash out what transpires there as far as that goes between Tampa Bay and Hartford. But needless to say, like I said, much needed victory for Detroit City, much wanted. Or, we looked at this thing earlier on Soccer Night in Detroit saying that, and everybody said, okay, this is going to be a loss. This is going to be a loss. I mean, we both looked at it and we were saying we could see a draw here. We could see a draw happening.
Yeah. And that was a really great snapback by Joe. It was just a screamer. We tried in vain to get a second goal, but it wasn't to be.
And Charleston had their chances as well, needless to say, during the match. And, it was really to no avail. But, it seems like a sense of relief there. I mean, they went goal. I mean, it wasn't really as long as the goal is, the 316 minutes we had to endure before coming up with a 2-0 victory over the Indy 11. But needless to say, it was a much needed sigh of relief in a way for now, depending on results that are coming, which we will see coming up after around the sea. And we'll go over the I'll go over the where we're standing as far as both the East and Western go, because there's a lot of games in the West too that are shall we say very pending here. So could we see a possible end to the playoff race tonight?
It looked like likely. I won't say, but everyone wants to see around things. And hey, this is going to be a short night for me because you're going to take over from your HQ, right?
Yeah, I'm going to be taking over back at the Hacienda at with the once we get all the highlights. We're going to give all the highlights of the Tampa Bay game as well as the game between Loudoun or the Tampa Bay Hartford game and the Loudoun United Indy match in the package for Around the Sea, to keep you abreast of what's going on as far as that playoff picture goes. But
so we'll discuss.
Are we? It's like hopefully when we come back here next week to the clubhouse, could it possibly be for the last playoff spot between Tampa Bay and Detroit? It could or could we be back here, just shooting the breeze?
Probably so.
We shall see there.
Yeah.
But
listen, I will see you on Wednesday for the musings. We have a lot of good topics to talk about.
Quite a few good topics in there.
Know.
Maybe one of those might be the Western Conference playoff picture, but might be the Eastern Conference playoff picture. But right now, we're just going to go around the sea.
Okay. And I'll see you on Wednesday. Good night, Matt Cat.
Yep.
To retrieve it for Tampa Bay.
Oh, boy.
How about this? Rowdy's now on the move, and it is Arteaga with open space. Manu shoots and scores! Oh, Arteaga! 25th minute. And this one's given away. Paul Marie and the Rowdies with a golden opportunity. It's Marie trying to get Arteaga. Instead, Pasius buries it. Rubens Pasius. In the cards before intermission.
Talk about tough matches. Hartford have to.
Wake goes right through his wickets that time. So here it is, and tapped in for the goal. Just an easy goal for Hartford Flag stays down, and that was put in by Mishi Galina, his 4th goal of the year. Taken away. Sent on. Oh! What a goal! Are you serious? Alex Mendez, where did that come from?
Squad of their next pro team. Pocket kicked cleanly by James Murphy. Quinn trying to launch Rendon. How about that for finding the right space? Rendon chips the keeper, and Bruno Rendon gives the Indy 11 the lead in the 11th minute.
What a touch. I like that they're getting Zielinski a little bit more involved.
Rendon, the rounding run. Ball finds its way to the back of the net. Goal for the Indy 11. Make it 2 for Indy.
Brilliant play.
Make that transition.
He'd be welcome instantly. His knowledge, his experience.
Nervy moment here, edge of the 18. Trying to find a window. Then again, that takes a couple of turns and finds its way in. That deflected not once but twice. And it's back to a 1-goal deficit with, again, there's a lot of time left to go in this match.
Hanya taking up a more central spot. Out wide is Lacroix. Putting it back to the inside, square ball in back post. Fjellberg redirects, and switchbacks have the breakthrough. Lacroix, who had provided the best chance of the match, now assists the...
There's just playing so many short corners.
In swinging ball that's headed down. The shot is in. Gabi Torres. It bounces right to him in the middle of the 6, unmarked. 1-0 Locomotive set piece.
Sanchez. Daniel Flores. Johnson. Good turn. Johnson with the ball still at his feet. Johnson giving off, trying to chip it through. Dennis did it again. 1-0 Phoenix Rising.
It goes all the way through. Latching on at the top of the box is Sample. And Griffin. And queuing up. Walty! Whiz bang pop. Pittsburgh power their way to 3-0.
Guys thinking, but there's a lot of these younger players that I'm sure are excited. This header is saved away. Shuttler denies Goodrum.
On where he will peel off to the right and then make that sharp turn to the left and try to get on the end of it. He is so good at locating the ball. What kind of ball is driven in? What kind of ball?
All right. Well, back at the Hacienda now as we've gone through a whole night of action, let's just say that, in the USL Championship. And unfortunately, as you know, it looks like we are going to be in for a decision day from looking at those highlights. So here's the scenario as we come about right now, looking at the Eastern Conference standings here for Detroit City FC. Right now, Detroit City FC sits at 36 points. Indy 11 sits at 35 points. Tampa Bay Rowdies sit at 33 points. Basically, what Detroit City needs to do next Saturday night down in Tampa is to beat the Rowdies, plain and simple. They draw against the Rowdies. That leaves open the chance for Indy 11 to capture the spot as they travel to Orange County. That game starts at 10 o'clock on Saturday night. So the scenario is right now, Detroit City, win, you're in. Doesn't matter what Indy does later on in the evening. You tie against Tampa Bay Rowdies, you have to wait for the result over in Orange County to find out your fate. And in fact, even if, I think it's like a win or a draw you're in, because but then again, Tampa Bay, if Indy 11 ends up winning, they could hop over Detroit City in the 8th spot as well. So basically the scenario is Detroit City wins, they're in. Indy 11 off of Detroit City draw or loss and a win on their own, they're in. Tampa Bay, they can, if they beat Detroit City and Indy loses, they're in. However, Tampa Bay has to beat Detroit City by a 3-goal margin. What does that mean? So the two teams played back in August at Keyworth Stadium, Tampa Bay and Detroit. Detroit City came away with a 2-0 victory that day. Right now, as it stands, Tampa Bay would have to beat Detroit City by 3 goals next Saturday night in order for them to clinch a playoff spot. So they have the most outside chance of all right now. Indy 11, on the other hand, should Detroit City draw against Tampa Bay, would have to lose against against Orange County on Saturday night in order for them to be eliminated. So they would have to beat Orange County in Orange County next Saturday night. So it's become a little bit of a, shall we say, a little bit more complicated than what it is. So it's going to make decision day a lot harder on Saturday night. Let's just put it that way. So, as far as our coverage goes for decision day, we'll have a preview of everything that's going to go on in decision day because apparently we're not the only conference that has something up for grabs at this point. As it looks right now, the Western Conference has at least 6 teams still in the running on Friday night, including Orange County SC, who's on the outside looking in. So you got 2 teams on the outside looking in when you get into that matchup between Indy 11 and Orange County next Saturday night over at Championship Soccer Stadium. So it's going to make for a long night, folks. Be prepared. Be prepared. It's going to be make for a long night. Steve and I will be at the clubhouse for coverage of Tampa Bay versus Detroit. That game will take place at 7:30, and then afterwards we will have, of course, we'll get up all the highlights there, and then we go from there. So look for another edition of After Hours to come on Sunday morning next week once we get this all figured out. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, it's come down to the wire, folks. We are going to have a true decision day coming up in both conferences on Saturday night here on Soccer Night in Detroit. So it's going to be a long night. Let me tell you that right now. So coming up on the musings this week, obviously we're going to break down this. We're going to break down the scenarios between both conferences. There will be a game being played that week, as I believe New Mexico United will be taking on. I'll have to look at the schedule here real quick here. See, so we do have a Wednesday game. That will be Sacramento Republic taking on Charleston Battery. So there's one game. Yeah, there's one more. Yeah, there's one more game. Extra, so that's a 10 o'clock start on Wednesday night. Neither one of those teams matter in the bottom in the race for the final playoff spot. They're already in the show, so that's not going to matter. But like I said, Saturday we're looking at a plethora of games here. Let me go to that real quick here on the FOTMOB. So Saturday, pretty much, everyone is playing on Saturday night. So 12 games on Saturday night. Orange County and Indy 11 takes place at 11 o'clock on Saturday night. That's going to be the game to watch. Now, should Detroit City win their game in Tampa Bay next Saturday night, that'll be proven all moot. Nothing matters at that point because Detroit City FC will have clinched that final playoff spot. So it is all come down to this. And I'll repeat this one more time. Detroit City wins against Tampa Bay. The Eastern Conference playoff race is over. Detroit City draws against Tampa Bay. They would have to have Indy 11 lose at Orange County in order for them to solidify a playoff spot. Tampa Bay, Indy, they would have to beat Orange County and hope for Detroit City to lose or draw in order for them to make it. Tampa Bay, in order to take over that 8th spot, they would have to beat Detroit City by at least 3 goals in order to get into the playoff spot, and hope that Indy 11 would lose against Orange County. So lots of scenarios to talk about as we go forward. We'll break down everything as far as that goes, and kind of like a pseudo playoff preview show coming up on Wednesday when we do the musings. So be looking forward to that. Make sure you like and subscribe to all these videos here. As you know, like and subscribe. Help that algorithm. That way you get notifications when the videos will come out. And like I said, next week, plan on another video being uploaded on Sunday morning once we get everything figured out and get you set for the playoffs there. So that's it. That's all. So we will see you on Wednesday for the musings. And until then, folks, keep your feet in the ground. Keep reaching for the galaxy.